You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused Radio. Welcome to the show. This is your host, Shamaya Reed. Man, we are here once again this Sunday morning on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And I have a special guest today. She's coming every month. So I want y'all to really, all the entrepreneurs out there, this is a treat for y'all. Every Sunday morning, you're going to be able to have an opportunity to get your brand right and get your marketing game right and get your mind right for business. Without further ado, I want to introduce Ms. B Michele, the brand coach in San Antonio. How you doing, ma'am?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I missed you guys.
Well, you know, when blessings come, you know, you just kind of move on up and you take your special people with you. So I appreciate you being with us and rocking with us, man.
So, I appreciate you guys. Y'all always are, you know, making sure you putting good people out there and making things happen. So I appreciate the opportunity.
We're on 9:30 a.m. The Answer radio station. Tell San Antonio a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get into your business. Okay.
So, a little bit about me. Well, I am a former educator. I spent about 17 plus years in education in various settings, from classroom teacher to testing coordinator to school social worker, a number of things. So my last teaching endeavor was overseas in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi. And so I spent about 4 years. I spent 4 years there teaching elementary age children, so like grades 1 through 5, 1 through 6. And then after that, I kind of was like, okay, I'm ready for something new. And so I've always loved event planning. And actually, while I was there, while I was in Abu Dhabi, I actually started a business with 2 other teachers. So we were doing various events around the city. And so it went off really well. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to start my event planning business. So hence B Michele Events. And so when I got to San Antonio, it was 2013, I believe. Yeah, 2013. Right on my birthday, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, got off the plane on July 3rd. Yes. So just kind of hit the ground running. And that's when I met you guys at church and did a show there, which was my first one. And that kind of just got it going. So about, I'm going to say about 2017, when we added our sister company, which is B Michele Professional Services. So I added that company, which kind of took care of our printing. So like our business cards. That's when I really started meeting business owners at that point, because I realized through the events that a lot of my clients needed printed material, like for, you know, their flyers, or needed invitations and things like that for their business. So that's why I actually end up adding that part of the business. So that's what kind of propelled me into where we are, like right now. So that was as a full service branding company. So I was like, let's try this out. And so from meeting so many business owners, that's really where the branding kind of came into play. And so we switched from being a full-service event planning company to a full-service branding company at that point. And now here we are.
When it comes to being an entrepreneur, you took that leap of faith. Mm-hmm. You took that risk. And I think most entrepreneurs, I mean, let's just be real. Like, we were real on the podcast, now we're on radio, so we're going to be even more real.
Right.
It's not easy to go out and just kind of put yourself out there.
So no, it's not. And I think my situation is a little bit different, but it definitely isn't easy. And you know what the God honest truth is, that I didn't even think about it being hard. Like, I just did it.
Yeah.
But I also did it because I also come from a family of entrepreneurs as well. So I kind of had, like, I had a foundation already kind of laid for as a look into entrepreneurship. So, like, my uncle, well, actually, even with my grandfather, he used to build barbecue pits out of the oil barrels. So he would build barbecue pits and sell them to people in the city. And then one of my uncles actually is a contractor. Mm-hmm. So he has a contracting business. And then my other uncle is a mechanic. So he has a mechanic shop, auto body shop, car shop in Colorado. And then another one of both of my aunts actually are in business together in the hair and beauty industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of mentors.
Yeah. And then my mother, has a business. Yeah. So I kind of already had a peep.
Yeah. Yeah. A sneak little teaser of what it's gonna be like.
Into it. So it wasn't like, it wasn't super hard. Mm-hmm. I didn't honestly, I just didn't think about it. And that's not to say like I probably should have put, honestly, hindsight is 20/20. So I didn't think it was a no-brainer for me, especially since I already had the business in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So I knew when I was coming back to the U.S.
That's not a bad start, by the way.
Right. So since I had the business in Abu Dhabi, it was more so just adding on to what was already there, just in another country. Now I'm coming back to the U.S. So I was already in the midst of planning stuff, networking, meeting people, business meetings, getting things, flyers done, printed stuff. So I was already in that mode from living there. So that was the thing about it. So it was more of a transition when I came to the U.S.
Yeah.
Versus it was still starting over. So it was definitely starting over, but it wasn't like I was brand new out the gate because I already had, obviously some.
Speaking of brand new out the gate, if you just joined us here on I Am Refocused Radio, you are listening to this show on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. I'm your host, Shemai Reed, and we're talking to B Michele. And speaking of out of the gate, someone listening right now, and maybe they are a new entrepreneur or maybe they've been in the business game for a while, but it's that time for a new, fresh beginning, maybe, in a new chapter.
Gotcha.
To upgrade. What are some of the things, because you're a coach, I don't think people need to sleep on you, man. I think they need to wake up. It's early morning Sunday, so if you're waking up right now, this is a sign for you. Share some wisdom that you have gained over the years being an entrepreneur.
Well, it's funny that so I actually posted this post this morning. It was a tweet from someone else, and it was basically saying that you can't expect things to happen in your business right away. Mm-hmm. And so I think that is, if nothing else, you always have to remember it's a marathon.
There you go.
And not a sprint.
There you go.
Like, it really is a marathon.
I was about to quote a late rapper, man. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I might have to ask permission next time. I got to be safe. I'm new to this radio game, but
gotcha.
I think most people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so it's a marathon. Yeah. Honestly.
I like that.
And so you have to go into it knowing that it's a marathon.
Yeah.
So when things don't happen right away, now, there's going to be some times where it's going to move fast and you have to be ready. Mm-hmm. Those times will come, and this is where having your foundation to your business together comes into play. And so I say that's another thing, is that making sure that you have dotted I's and crossed T's at the very beginning stages, not after you've been in business 3 to 4 years. Now, even if you still find yourself, you can always go back and fix things. But it's better to get out the gate, have a good start out the gate. So making sure that you have your business set up, your legal structure is in place, your business banking, how are you going to take payments, making sure you have processes and procedures in place.
I can't do cash, man. I can't do cash.
You can't do cash, but you know how I feel about that one. So no, you totally. So having all of those things, procedures in place, knowing who you are as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is super important as well. That's key. It's more key that you're in tune with yourself first. Yeah. So that way you can be in tune with your client base, but you have to know who you are as an entrepreneur.
That's facts.
And not and have a solid foundation to stand on, and because you can't teeter-totter. You can't. What's that the thing in the gym when we was kids? The little seesaw.
Oh yeah.
Was it a teeter-totter? What was the thing in the playground? You can't be on that.
It's not fun if no one else is with you though.
Right.
So that's to say, well, if you can't do it alone.
No, and you can't
be isolated.
Again, yesterday. Look, there's just so much, like, you're bringing up so much stuff that has happened. So even yesterday, we're talking about the importance of collaboration and how you have to develop and start putting yourself in a mindset to build. In order to build and grow, you can't do it alone. You're gonna have to find people of like mind, and that where you have the same mindset and the same goals, and go at it together. Because I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet my life on it and a few dollars. That no matter, you can't even name one entrepreneur, professional, successful person that has done it alone. You can't name one.
No, it takes a village, man.
Yeah, it does.
It takes people.
It
who
really
are better
does.
Than you and take
You can't name one person that will look you dead in their face and say they did it by themselves.
Not true.
It's not true.
It's not happening.
So you just have to find people of like minds and people that you have the same goals and thought processes to be able to build with and share. And I always talk about mentorship, and having a good mentor is always super important for anything that you're doing. And especially as for new entrepreneurs, it's very important that you kind of find a way to seek them out. And they're there. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be anyone that's in your same industry.
Yeah.
They can be in a different industry. Because you don't have to do branding or marketing for me to be a business mentor for you. So, but you should definitely have multiple mentors. You definitely should have mentors that's in your industry for sure. But, however you find that person, but definitely that should be on the top of your list. Once you decided you're going to start a business, or even if you've been in business for a little while, to really seek out a business bestie, a mentor, whatever we're calling it these days.
Because that's what brings clarity to you as a person and to what you're trying to do in life.
Right.
I mean, it's not just a business, it's not just a brand, it's not just a logo. It's you. Like, you are, your business, everything that you're doing is a mirror of who you are.
It really is. So and this is where sometimes a lot of people have a hard time with drawing a line with personal and business. So your personal and your core values will come through in your business, so you should run your business accordingly. So if you don't know who you are and your core values are not together, it's going to show in your business.
Yeah.
But then there's that element of you also have to know when not to take things necessarily personal, because sometimes, and people always say it's not personal, it's business. And that is true. And so you have to have a level of discernment to know when it's which. So, but who you are at the core will also come through in how you do business.
There you go.
So that's important too.
Man, time flies by when we're having fun.
I know,
I'm
doesn't
probably
it?
going to say that 10,000 times.
I don't know if I can get used to this 30-minute segment or not.
Man, that's why we got to have you once a month. Every month you're coming back, because it's too much just good value from B Michele. Like, I'm gonna just take this 30 seconds to say not how just cool B Michele is, but she's been supporting I Am Refocused podcast before it became radio.
Oh, well, thank you.
And you talking about entrepreneur buddies, pals, whatever you want to call it. That's the prime example right there. What we've been doing with you and what we've been doing as far as just having each other's back. That's what it's all about. So let's talk to the listeners out there. So once again, this is I Am Refocused Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer on this Sunday morning, and we are talking to B Michele. So B Michele, talk to that one listener, that one person right now is like, man, this is awesome. Like, I want to start a business. I want to get my stuff in check. I want to get my paperwork right. Talk to that person and take the floor real quick and tell them what they need to be doing.
So one of the first things that you have to do if you're thinking about starting a business, number one, it's important that you actually do some research first. So that is the most important thing. That is like number one thing. You have to research your market, meaning the city that you live in, the area that you live in, the state that you live in, depending on the type of business that you're going to be doing. Once you decide what area you're going to go in, you really need to do a market analysis and make sure that you have a viable business, that your product or your service is needed in the market. But the main thing is that all businesses start based on solving a problem. You have to decide what problem are you solving. And are there people or other, even B2B, business to business, are there people or businesses out there that actually need your product or service?
Yeah.
Do they have a problem? Do you have a solution for them? So in that being the first thing, you really need to dig deep to make sure that you have a good, viable business and a product or service to offer. And then figure out what the market is doing, price point wise. Find people, if there are people out there that are doing what you're doing, even on they may be on a high end or a low end, or it's kind of sort of like, you definitely need to kind of peep into their business and figure out, okay, how are they doing? Is it going well? Are they successful at it? What are they not doing? All of those things are important in the beginning when you get started. So I'll give you an example. When I first moved to San Antonio, I literally only knew 2 people, literally 2. And now I can't go to Walmart.
Like, it's now like 2,000 plus.
So, but I knew if I was going to be successful at my business, number one, I had to figure out this market that I was in. I'd only been to San Antonio like twice. Once in college for spring break, we did an I-35 tour. So we hit Dallas, Austin. So we did the I-35 tour for spring break. Mm-hmm. And then the other time was actually when I came on vacation, when I was on summer vacation from Abu Dhabi. So I'd only been here twice. So I had no clue really what this city was about, other than the Riverwalk and the Alamo.
Yeah.
So I really spent a lot of time researching. I spent a lot of time going to networking events. I spent a lot of time talking to people, meeting people, all of that to figure out what type of event planning business I wanted to have. But also did some of this research before I left Abu Dhabi as well. So I looked up the chambers. I looked up different things. But the one thing that I really did is I Googled event planning businesses, and I went through about, I'm going to say 20 to 30 different businesses and websites. I even called them. I called them, pretended I was a client.
just to see what it was all about.
Yeah, just to kind of get try to gauge their service. Mm. Like I was all in their website, looking at their pricing, looking at their packages. So once I did all that, I decided, how was I going to set myself apart from this? So I decided, okay, we're going to be a full service event planning company. So I want to make sure we have all of these things in-house, in place: catering, photography, videography. So I made sure I networked and I met those type of people to bring into my business. And so that we could be a team. And if anything came, hey, we got you covered. And like I said, that's kind of what happened when in 2015, when I added the printing side as another, part to it. So research. Spend time doing research to make sure that you actually have a good, viable, and profitable business in your market.
Yeah.
And that's key. So after you kind of figure out those components and making sure that it's doable, then you figure, okay, what do you want to bring to the table? Branding is all about, the main thing that branding is about experience. It's about how you make that person feel. Mm-hmm. And how your brand stands out and what you offer, and making a lasting impression to make them want to come back, to continue to use the service. Why should they pick you?
Yeah.
Okay, so figure out how you're going to set yourself apart from all the other insurance people, real estate, clothing, whatever it is that you're doing. And depending on what's in your market, it may be easier, it may be a little bit more difficult, depending on the city that you live in. So, and this is not to toot my own horn.
Go ahead.
But it was funny because even when we transitioned to branding, I really didn't there weren't very many people that do what I do. So I was able to kind of find a lane and create my own lane. So as a full service branding company, there are very few of us, even here in San Antonio. And my client base extends even internationally, which I do need to call my client back. I have a client live in Malaysia. So speaking of, I need to call her. But the joy of what I do is that I can do it anywhere in this country, in this world. Now that we got video and internet, but figure out what makes you different. Figure out how you're gonna stand out. And the one thing that I knew what I wanted to do is that my personality, because I'm a people person, I let that be the forefront of my business. So when people meet me, it's like, I like her.
Oh yeah, it's a fingerprint.
Yeah.
Like you said, the experience.
And you have to be likable.
Oh, man.
And if you're not likable, you better find somebody to be the face of your business that is likable.
Right there. That's another show.
Yeah, that's another show right there.
Personality test.
Personality. So, but no, in all honesty, I just wanted to bring a different experience, even event planning and to branding. And our niche is all about helping you develop the foundation of your brand. So when you're in that beginning stage of starting a business, the foundation. I cannot stress that enough. Making sure that is together. So part of that foundation is the research. Part of that foundation is figuring out the price points for your product or your service. Where are you going to get it from? Who's making it? How are you going to be competitive? How are you going to stand out? What are you going to offer different? All that needs to be laid out in those conversations with yourself, because you're going to talk to yourself quite a bit. And hopefully you'll be able to have some people to talk to bounce these ideas off of that's, and you can be in a safe space to where you can share your ideas. That's key. The other thing is that definitely making sure that you have your support system together. That's a whole nother topic. I have a 10-step. I have the 10 commandments of entrepreneurship, and I'm really...
Yeah, you got to touch on that one.
I know.
Come back.
We got to talk about the 10 commandments of entrepreneurship. So I really do need to I got to finish this book, because it'll be all in the book. I just need to get this book finished.
Man, if y'all haven't noticed, B Michele is really busy. So if you just tune in right now on this station, 9:30 a.m., The Answer, you're listening to Iron Refocus Radio with your host, Shemai Reed, talking to the special guest, B Michele. And then, like I said, time's flying. It's like ice on a hot stove. It's about 2 minutes left in the show. So real quick, talk to that listener one more time. And after you do that, I want you to just give your website and social media.
Okay,
but talk to that person right now who might be stuck. And they need that clarity. They need to get back in the game.
Man, you hitting on
that passion.
You are totally hitting on all the stuff that I either read or saw this week. So I saw a post on Facebook that basically said, you're not really stuck. You're just unwilling to make a change.
Ooh. Nice.
So you're not really stuck. You're just unwilling to make change and do something different than what you've always done. And I think that is true for a lot of us. It's the whole, if it's not broke, don't fix it situation. I think sometimes it go into play. But as an entrepreneur, you have to always be willing to learn and gain new information and knowledge. And you can't be that rigid.
Yeah, you got to be hungry.
No, there's a difference between putting things in place, processes and procedures. There's a difference between that versus you not wanting to find other avenues and find ways to grow your business and get it going and do the things you need to do.
Yeah.
So you're not stuck. You just have to be willing to try some different things and try different approaches and learn some new strategies to get you where you need to be. So I'm gonna kind of leave it at that one. So,
yeah. That's a teacher.
So you're not stuck.
Because I'm going to echo that and say, not only are you not stuck, but if you just tune into this show, Iron Refocus Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, this is a sign for you to share this with all your friends and family who might be in business or thinking about being in business. And if you are thinking about being in business, I highly suggest you go to bmichele.com and find out how you can start getting things rolling and taking some action steps. So in the last 50 seconds, Tell them how they can do that.
All right, so you can find me on bmichele.com. My website is up. You can also find me on social media. Everything is Coach B Michele. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. It's all Coach B Michele, and that's B space Michele with one L. So Instagram, it goes all together, but it's Coach B Michele everything. And if you Google me, I'm like on the first 3 pages.
Hey, it's a fact. She works, and her work speaks for herself. And I want to just say thank you to everybody listening to the show. The feedback has been very positive. So here in San Antonio, wherever you are in the world, this is I Am Refocused Radio on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We are going to have B Michele back every single month. So don't shoot me no emails and saying, hey, how come she ain't coming back? Just be patient because we're going to have B Michele back. Once again, it's your host, Shemaya Reed. You are here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Listen to the show, I Am Refocused Radio. Stay tuned because next week we got another special guest. So till then, till next time, peace out.
Hi, San Antonio. Need a barber? Visit our good friend Rico Rodriguez, the owner of Rockefeller's Barbershop in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road, and book your appointment today by calling 210-782-5188.